Are we back? Are we back? Is this up again? Garen says, are we back? And I think I reset it because it did stop for some reason. I have no idea why. Sabotage, warp creatures, who knows what it could be. Alpha Legion, Space Marines, infiltrating. Breaking down my communication system as they are known to do sorts of things. Hooray, we're back. Good. Sorry about that. Something happened. I don't know what. But yeah, we're back. Watch me paint some guns. So, Steven's still out on his break. Crisis averted. I really want to see him put together this Baneblade. I think he could put together most of it without putting the tread on. I wonder how those fit into the instructions. So I would really like to watch him do that. It's a massive tank. It's like a no-joke tank in the universe. To put it into perspective of how no-joke of a tank it is, one of these little Hormagaunts costs 5 points. His tank costs about 580 points to play. And can easily kill... First off, these guys can't even injure his tank. So it's a nice range of stuff. I mean, the average unit, like a unit of 5 Space Marines, costs like 70 points. You know, the range changes. A unit of these I pay 50 points for 10. Everything has a cost. I think this guy is just about ready for his... Oh no, I missed a claw. Missed a claw. And Mrs. Claw. Alright. Just about ready for the dry brush layer on this one. This needs to be shaken up a little bit. Give that a little whirl. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Alright. Yeah, another one done. I love getting these guys done. And he's looking... Oh, did I not do the head? Space Cadet, Space Marine. But painting doesn't have to be difficult, and it's really enjoyable, and you can have as much fun with it as you want. You can give them freckles and polka dots and stripes and color them any color you want. Next, let's kind of do a production line here. Let's do 1, 2, let's get 3 out and do 3 at once. My brush ready, get some paint on the brush, dabba dabba, dabba 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 do. Start painting them up. when I like, man, these Tyranids, they're easy to paint because they're grotesque, you know? So any mistakes, smudges, blotches, blemishes, they make them, they add a little character to them. Like a little bit of that unnatural organic, or a natural organic kind of appearance. Right down the back there. I think I'm rushing here. Try to get the sides of these little vertebrae bones. Yeah. 40K. What other games? What are you guys playing these days? Garion, I saw you on Dota last night. Playing Dark Moon. I was just logging off. And I saw you hopped on and I had my web browser open, debating if I wanted to play another game, and I decided, you know, I should probably go to sleep. And I saw you jump into Dark Moon, and I've been playing Dark Moon and having a blast with it. What's the highest level you got to in Dark Moon? I must know your Dark Moon experience. The first day I played, I've been playing for like 2 days. The first day I got to a record high, and I don't think I'll ever break that record again. I got to like level 17 with a dream team who everybody was communicating, and we did wonderfully. What's the one after Marana and Luna? Oh, yeah, we got killed at Invoker, I think, which was rough. That Invoker, man. It's just like one giant Invoker. But I play mostly Winter Wyvern on it, because she's pretty well-rounded for a dragon. Got there by luck, I think? Yeah. Definitely. Very interesting game mode. Very fun. I like it. It's a nice change of pace from regular Dota. I think Steven's coming back, and when he does, I think I might want to change some of these cameras around and go to the computer and discuss some things with you guys. Talk about the internet with you. And I really have to pee. So hopefully Steven can come back to entertain you while I make a pee. Yeah, I'm like in painting Zen right now. I'm having trouble using my brain. What was I talking about? Dark Moon in Dota. The event is a lot. They had another event years ago. It was like a Roshan adventure or something. I don't know what it was, but it was really popular. And I think Dark Moon's really pretty popular. It is the new season. I do want to pay for my $8 for my battle pass, because I like to support the Dota community.
Hola.
Hi, Steven.
Hola.
Hi, Steven.
So, that man is wearing a Bob Ross wig, disappointingly, as opposed to just having Bob Ross hair.
A Bob Ross wig.
Yeah, he's a professional painter. He's giving pro-level painting tips.
Really?
Yeah. Which right now is all about just what is working with an airbrush. It's getting to know your rig. So he's literally just saying what it's like to the physical dexterity behind using an airbrush.
I'm a professional painter, showing that you don't have to care to paint. You can get an acceptable quality done pretty quickly. But army painting is also a lot different than single character painting. Like, if you're into miniature painting for miniature painting, you know, you might spend a lot of money or whatever, any amount of money. The Reaper miniatures are really cheap, actually, on a figure this size, and you'll pour your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Reaper miniatures are the really nice, really high quality, not as high quality as GW, but for the money, really high quality models used for role-playing games, especially D&D.
And yeah, they make a great paintbrush and a great model, the Reaper stuff. And but it all depends. Army painting, you know, the figures are handled so much that it's not like these guys. I don't really have a good way of storing them. And to me, they're not worth storing. This huge gaunt swarm, like, so every figure's safe and protected. I kind of like them as my toys. While my other figures are like not my toys. They're like my serious things that have to be cared for and upkept and protected. So they have the nice case, which maybe I will be back to next week. I think I will be back to those next week. Maybe I'll do a little both. Maybe I'll do some Tyranids, and then I'll go, so that's Tyranid painting. Then you'll see when I spend a fortune of time on a small area, and the work pays off. At what step do you put the treads on the...
Nice and early, if you want to go by these.
Step 1.
No, it's step 5. No, it's you don't have to go in this order. That's the most boring part of the model. That's the most boring part of the model to complete. So I was looking at the
never make that mistake.
Turrets instead.
Read your assembly instructions.
Doesn't make a difference.
Read your assembly instructions.
Reading the assembly instructions is not going to make a difference. The swarm is like army men. Yeah, they're green. Let's write an army men codex. I'm down. As I mentioned last week, that's one of the first things to do with game design. Bennett, hold still. I'm going to put my hand behind the gaunt to get it to autofocus.
I'm not too worried about it. I'm just showing what I'm painting. The side of these.
Well, it's indecipherable.
These little spines.
That line down the middle is not the camera. It's the monitor we're looking at, right?
There's a line.
There's a red line.
I don't know what it is.
Burned out pixels down the middle.
None of this equipment is mine except for these paintbrushes.
Yeah. Well, it is ours to take care of since we're using it. So, I'll make a note of that. No worries. I mean, consider it reported. Your pizza's baking, by the way.
No, it isn't. Don't lie to me. I do want to order a pizza.
Good.
I'm so hungry. So hungry. There's one model in the Army Men Codex. Oh no, maybe they have like Bazooka Joe, right?
They're Legion of the Damned. There's one thing in the whole book.
Yeah, but there's like, what are the Army Men equipped with? Some of them have rifles. I'm sure I've seen a guy with a bazooka.
Yeah, and machine guns and just pistols. Yeah.
How many points for an Army Man? I guess they're really affordable, so you could probably put a lot on the table at once.
Mm-hmm.
Army man.
That's the way my boss at the game store likes to put things. It's just, you remember the army men you about 40K? You remember the army men you grew up playing with? Well, now they have rules.
I hear them making dubstep next door.
Is that dubstep? Keep hearing about dubstep.
It's kind of dubbish.
Hmm.
It's not strict dubstep. It's more like a dub break section of the track. I wish we could feed that to you guys for music.
Yeah, I'm sure it's sensitive though, since it's work on a project though.
Well, that's kind of what this place is about. I don't know.
It's up to them what they want to stream. So that's a good question.
Tank treads.
Tinctreds. I'd like to reiterate, unless you want to be an arch perfectionist, I don't recommend doing this much deburring. It's pretty maddening, and I love this kind of fastidiousness.
When you assemble your tank, don't primer it right away. Let it sit.
Of course.
Let you observe it.
I don't even know. I'm not going to primer it just black or white, and I don't even know how I'm going to paint it yet. I just want to start playing with it yesteryear.
Right. So then you can make sure if you miss something, because after you primer it, it's kind of tough to deburr it. Not that it's tough, it's just mechanized armies. Gaunt number 3 in our small production line.
Permeating music is making it seem like there's no dead air whenever we stop talking. Are we playing music though? I've been hearing your voice in the other room.
You know, they're probably at home browsing the internet.
Oh,
you know.
a little bit of music's good, especially since we have full screen ahead. Lay down but keep the stream going. Cool. Thank you for staying with us, Garion. I hope you're feeling better, by the way.
Garen, when are you going to buy some models and paint with us, man? I'm the best Warhammer salesman. So what are you going to buy an army? When are you going to just make the plunge?
The plunge.
Gonna do the dive.
The div. Do the div.
I think I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna take a break after I finish these, and I'm gonna take this other stream off.
See if the Warhammer TV one is still open.
It is
Or
over.
do you want to... So no MST3K, huh? Other than the fun bits about Bob Ross.
Well, this is the Frontline Gaming stream, which I found... It was interesting while they were at the event, but I don't know what it's doing now. This guy's painting. I'm like, hey, man, I'm painting. Back off. Go get your own painting channel. And he has one, so I don't really have anything else to, like, quip at him with, you know? Maybe I'll order a pizza. Do you like pizza, Steven?
Why did you ask me if I like pizza? It's like asking me if I like beer or sex or sunshine or...
Do you like beer, sex, or sunshine?
I do.
Cool.
See, those questions aren't obvious and unnecessary. It's just pizza.
You know, sex is like pizza. When it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's still kind of good.
Pretty fucking good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just glue this together.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have a good pizza than bad sex. I'm getting old.
Indeed. Full screen ahead. Can I get a tear of that paper towel off the bottom, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I just mean the whole section. My bad.
Just grab a corner of it. Yeah, take that sheet. I don't need 3 sheets. Holding my paintbrush in my mouth. Now it's out. So I could tell you I was holding my paintbrush in my mouth. So, talk to me about your list with a Baneblade. This is a discussion we've never had.
Able to walk anything. I've mentioned it a lot as I've just been rhapsodizing about it, like when I first got it. I'm going to be able to just walk anything up behind it. I watched a game that is just a straight up Eternal War, very straight out of the book mission game, and they were playing in a cityscape, and units were able to just walk up the board to take objectives like it was nothing special. And I realized that was exclusively just because there is that much terrain. Nope, that does not work at all. There was just that much terrain going on. What an awkward piece of glue. And it just changed the game.
Gluing?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's happening.
So I was gluing last stream, dude.
It's happening.
I was gluing last stream, dude.
It's happening.
I was gluing last stream, dude.
You haven't done anything.
I built the turrets.
You did some stuff.
Yeah.
It's happening, guys. You don't know how much I've been waiting for this moment. I could hear you coming in the air tonight.
I can just walk stuff up behind the Baneblade. I can have stuff just walking. You know, you think to yourself, well, I'd like to include these cool squads of infantry. How am I going to do that? They're just going to get killed. Now, I have to buy tanks to transport them. Now I can just walk them behind this thing. Like just
why
have
not walk
a platoon
them in front of it and then it gets a cover save?
Not at all. Not even a little.
Why not give it a cover save?
I could do that. It has to be 25% obscured in order to get a cover save.
No, intervening models.
No, and if the model is obscuring it, it doesn't matter that there's a unit in front of it if you're aiming at a point above the 25% mark. I could put tanks in front of it. When I say unit, I mean infantry unit.
I have the rule book here. Mm-hmm. Are we going to argue this online?
You mean like we usually do? Like
how many internet dollars?
Bitcoin?
How many faux Bitcoin?
Faux Bitcoin. No, they're real Bitcoins. It's just that Bitcoin is only kind of money.
Okay, before I dry brush these. Intervening model cover save.
It's a 5-up if.
No, 25% obscured and intervening models are two different things. You're saying they're one and the same. I'm saying they're two different things.
If a model is 25% obscured by an intervening model.
Intervening models. You might be right. Let's find out.
I usually am.
Cover saves. Cover saves. Cover saves.
Cover saves,
This is the gloss.
Hi, I'm Al Harrington, and welcome to Cover Saves, Cover Saves, Cover Saves in Warhammer Warehouse in Weekapog.
Saves. 37.
Go to intervening models instead. It'll be in the same
intervening
section.
models is another thing in there.
You're a thing in there. No, it isn't there, actually. That's a good close-up for book shots.
Often, look at this. This is the main rule book. Okay. Determining cover saves. If you come to allocate a wound, the target's model's body, as defined on page 14, is at least 25 obscured from the point of view of at least one firer. Wounds allocated to that model receive a cover save, unless specifically stated otherwise. All cover provides a 5-up save. Some types of terrain provide better or worse cover saves. When this is the case, the cover save provided will be stated in the rules for terrain.
All right.
Next page.
Ugh, UCLA colors.
Models.
Go away.
Intervening models. Let's find out. If a target is partially obscured from the firer by models from a third unit, it receives a 5 up cover save in the same way as if it was behind terrain. Here we go. Similarly, if a model fires through the gaps between models in an intervening unit, the target is in cover, even if it is completely visible to the firer.
Right, but my point is that I'm not going to be... Well, that's stupid. If they could see through the gap and give me a cover save, they're going to be able to see not above the gap, but just the space above it, and not give me a cover save.
So that means, here's my example. This guy and this guy, right? This is one unit. Let's use different painted guys.
Let's use different painted guys.
So these are painted guys, and this is going to be the obscuring... Steven?
Mm-hmm.
Steven?
I'm listening.
And this is going to be the obscuring unit, right? This guy with the gun... Steven, are you watching the example?
Uh-huh.
Is right here, right? With the gun, okay?
Uh-huh.
He wants to shoot at this guy.
Uh-huh.
He has clear line of sight. He is not obscured at all.
My tank is
No,
this
hold on,
big.
hold
This
on.
is,
Because they're shooting through the gaps,
then it counts
he gets
as
a cover.
obscured.
If
Right.
your tank is
this
here,
tall,
it
doesn't make
matter.
a difference.
It doesn't matter.
Of course it does.
No.
It's not. They're just going to be able to see above it.
Yeah, it's still
No, I
there's
get what
still
you're
a
saying.
model in the way.
There is an unlimited vertical line being drawn, but you just aim for the spot that's not the space in between. The borders of that
All you have to do
space,
is take an infantry
the border
squad and
of
put it in
that
front of your
space-
tank, and it gets a cover save.
The border of that space begins and ends with the empty space.
So are you saying?
not with
So
the
tell me
space
this: if you
occupied
put
by the model,
if you put an infantry squad of 10 guys, just from an infantry platoon in front of your Baneblade, you're telling me the Baneblade won't get a save?
because it's that tall, it's not 25% obscured. And if you can
You're
see,
still shooting, even if it is completely visible to the firer. It's shooting through the gaps of a model. You still get the save.
shooting through the gaps. He'll just shoot me not through a gap, but through the space above a model. So it's not in the gap. The shot's not going through the gap.
So the next sentence, so this is what you're saying. Note that this does not apply if the shots go over the unit.
Yep.
Either because the firer has an elevated position or is firing a barrage weapon. So I still think if they're on the same level, if your tread are on the ground and your models are on the ground, you don't get a pick where that shot lands on the model. You don't get a pick where the shot lands. You either view it or you don't. Now, if it was on a completely different level, if the shots go over the model, right?
Mm-hmm.
Note that this does not apply if the shots go over the unit, either because the firer has an elevated position or is firing a barrage.
The cover save does not apply.
Right, but think about it this way. Your tank is on this ground level. Your models are here. Who says you get to shoot that part of the tank? You can't say, I'm aiming here and not there.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Why not? It's a point that you can have it be visible, and that's it. That's what that sentence is about.
So you're saying it's a point
Mm-hmm. It's a point in space, not a...
where you're drawing line of sight
It's a point in three-dimensional space, not two-dimensional space. That's why you can hit a target's head if it's above cover, even if its legs are behind cover. That's exactly how that works. There's verticality. If what you were saying were true, then you couldn't shoot somebody even though you could see their head just because you couldn't see their feet.
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think you can. If the model's on the same, like if the model was completely clear, you'd be fine. There's an intervening model. If he was on a different elevation thing, like a different piece, and was clearly...
If a visible piece is at a different level.
So you're saying, so what you're telling me
I have a quick
is that if I have...
I have a quick modeling question, time sensitive.
All right.
What's the best way to deal with these strands of plastic glue flying all over the place? I don't want to have to file them off later.
I don't know. rub them off. They come off pretty easily.
Okay.
So you're telling me, what you're saying is, by your logic, if there's a taller model behind a model that's intervening, I could just pick the tall part to shoot at and he doesn't get a hit?
Well, no. What the exception you're talking about only applies to the gaps between them.
So
It's
your
still a
infantry
normal
squad is still going to
25%.
obscure it 25% based on their height.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's too tall. It's gonna cover it like 20%, not 25. What I'm saying is the Baneblade's that tall.
Dude, these are designed. Infantry, no. You get a cover save, dude. That's how this works. Put your model in front of the tank and keep it alive. You are completely wrong. Why would you take such a detriment when the rules say you don't have to?
Because that's not what the rules say.
That's what the rules say. Intervening if you're shooting through the gaps of a model, man.
Why would you not just shoot over?
Because you don't get
the
a
space
pick.
occupied.
You
Of course
just
you do. For a tank?
No,
Yeah.
you don't choose. I'm gonna get this rulebook out again.
Okay.
You don't choose what part of them is you're shooting at. That's just determining if you have line of sight. So what am I looking at here?
Intervening models.
That was intervening models. We're talking
No,
about
I want to see
targeting.
it again. Whoa.
All right. If a model fires through the
Start from
gaps,
the beginning. If a target is primarily obscured from the fire partially, thank you. Obscured from a there you go. Partially obscured from the fire by models from a third unit, models not from the fire's unit, or from the target unit, it receives a 5-up cover save in the same way as if it was behind terrain, which means you'd have to be for the space that is occupied by a model, because the wording is in the same way as if it was behind terrain. Which means it would need to be 25% obscured.
If a model
if a model fires through the gaps between models in an intervening unit, the target is in cover. Even if it is not completely visible.
No, even if it is complete. Don't put a not there.
That's what I said. Even if it is. I didn't mean to say not if I did. Even if it is completely visible to the fire. Note that this does not apply. Exactly. This does not apply if the shot goes over the unit. Yeah, the cover save
because
doesn't
the
apply.
fire has an elevated position. We're talking about things on the same elevation.
No, that's the opposite of what it's saying. Either because the firer has an elevated position, or if it is firing a barrage weapon. Yeah.
So they would have to be on a different elevated position. If your guardsmen are on the ground and your Baneblade's right next to it, they're at the same elevation, you would get a cover save.
That wording is saying if the fire is
so where do you say that find me the rule that says I get to pick where my shot lands on your model? It's not under intervening model. It's going to be in targeting or something.
Vehicles.
Now, shooting from your Baneblade, your line of sight is drawn from your weapon turret, which means you get
this sentence was about.
Right. But I'm saying your Baneblade getting shot.
The firer has an elevated position.
Your Baneblade getting shot. Your cannon, because line of sight for your weapon is drawn from your gun. There's nothing that says, well, I'm shooting your cannon or I'm shooting that part of your vehicle. You just target the vehicle. So your cannon's going to go over your infantry and not give your enemy a cover save. But when they shoot at you, you're going to get a cover save from your infantry being in the way.
Excuse me, I'm reading rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this just says, if you can see it. Look, the ruling for intervening models specifically says the gaps in between. You would simply not fire through the gaps in between.
I know, but you're not getting to the point about drawing line of sight. Why? So when have you ever told me I'm firing at that part of your vehicle or at that part of your model? You don't.
All the time.
But you don't. There's nothing in the rules that say you do that. Show it to me.
Sure. Under blast, you get to put it wherever you want.
Okay, but how about if it's not a blast? Aside
really
from
what
a
it comes
blast.
down to
Aside
is
from a blast.
You're ignoring just being able to see over. You're getting paint on your book, by the way. You're being able to see over a model.
There's still an intervening model in the way.
So it's not concerning. Look at this wording. Partially obscured from a third unit, it receives a 5-foot cover save in the same way as if it was behind terrain. So if there's a model in the way that's not covering it up by 25%, you'd fire at that point. So
if a model fires through the gaps
over this spot.
No, if this guy. This is what I'm saying. If this guy fires at this guy,
Then
and this is a unit, right?
Then he gets a
He
cover
has
save.
full cover. He's not
Of course.
obscured at all. He gets a cover save.
Right.
Why is that different if your tank is here?
Because you would say that you could fire over this spot. Look, you can take line of sight from any minimum distance. That's like saying that you can't draw
But that's
line of sight.
line of sight. That's not line of fire. Line of sight
There
is just
Where does it say
targeting.
line of fire? Where
There is no line of fire.
Exactly.
That's my
Thank
point.
You, for
You
making my
can't
point.
pick to shoot there. You're choosing the model. There's an intervening model. You're just choosing your target.
It's not intervening at that point.
Well, let's go look up line of sight.
Sure.
It is intervening. Steven, I'm trying to give you a cover save, a 5-up
that
cover
doesn't
save
make
on
any
your
sense.
on your Baneblade, and you won't take it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Line of sight, page 14. Line of sight determines what a model can, quote, see. Many situations call for you to determine whether or not a model has line of sight. A model normally needs line of sight whenever it wishes to attack an enemy, whether with a power sword, gun, or psychic power. Line of sight literally represent your warrior's view of the enemy. They must be able to see their foes, though under or over the battlefield terrain and other models, whether friendly or enemy. For one model to have line of sight to another, you must be able to trace a straight, unblocked line from its body, the head, torso, arms, or legs, to any other part of the target's body. Sometimes all that will be visible of a model is a weapon, banner, or other ornament he is carrying. In these cases, the model is not visible. Similarly, we ignore wings, tails, and antennae, even though they are technically part of a model's body.
It's okay.
So
Take
if
your
your cannon was sticking out from a corner, you can trace line of sight because it's a weapon.
That's exactly right.
Okay. These rules are intended to ensure the models don't get penalized for having impressive banners, weaponry, and so on. Naturally, you can't ask your models what they can see. They're plastic and resin, which is always a barrier to effective communication. This is the rule book. Therefore, you'll have to work it out in their behalf. In many cases, this will be obvious. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. What are you blah, blah, blahing over?
I'm just skipping through here.
Well, don't skip. That defeats the purpose.
There's nothing about here. They're talking about, like, come to an agreement with your opponent. But line of sight isn't line of gunfire. There is no line of gunfire. That's why I'm saying you don't get to choose. You're just choosing. This is for targeting purposes. This isn't for, like,
no.
for
You're right.
choosing
Yeah.
a target, not for
targeting
choosing
purposes,
where the
not
shots
for cover
land.
purposes.
So I'm saying because you target it and the situation is that there's intervening models and you're shooting through the gap.
You can't get a cover save when you're less than 25% obscured.
Yes, you can.
Unless you're in area terrain. That's the only exception.
You what?
Besides Jink or Stealth Shrouded, Jink, Stealth Shrouded, Jink, and Area Terrain are the only things that give a cover, or War Gear, give cover save without being 25% obscured.
Yeah, intervening models, like I said.
Intervening models don't give a
This,
cover save.
yes, they do.
It says here, in the same way, which means that the space...
30, you're looking for...
My bad. The space occupied by a vehicle has...
No. If a target is partially obscured from the firer by models from a third unit, it receives a 5-up cover save in the same way as if it was... Okay, now hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that needs to be 25% obscured, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's it.
Similarly, if a model fires through the gaps between models in an intervening unit, the target is in cover. Even if it is completely visible to the fire, even if it is completely visible, if there's a unit in the way, you get a cover save. Even if it is completely visible, it says right there, if there's an intervening model, intervening unit...
we need to look up the errata then. I mean, no, we don't. It's right there, but I mean, we ought to look up the errata.
Even if it is completely visible, if there's something between you and the model...
For the space in between.
What do you mean for the space in between?
For that gap in the model, not in general.
What do you mean not in general?
I mean, that doesn't apply to the space occupied That doesn't apply to the model that would be obscuring it. That just says that for the space in between.
If you're firing, the target is in cover.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it doesn't matter if it's 25% obscured.
Of course it does. That's the point.
Because you can only trace line of sight to a part that is visible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a unit in the way, it's completely obscure. It gets a cover save. It gets a 5-up cover save. You don't get cover saves for shooting things downfield. I mean, you always get a cover save for shooting things at the other end of the battlefield. You almost always do, unless it's elevated, if it's on a building or something. If it's in the back of the table, it's more likely than not going to get a cover save, unless it's being targeted by a flyer or something. You have to target the things in front to not give them cover saves. That's like fundamental Warhammer. It's like fundamental
no, it gets
Warhammer.
Resolved against the things in front. You don't have to target it.
It doesn't matter. You know why? This is because in the case of intervening friends, the fire would be afraid of Well, in the case of intervening enemies, the fire is distracted by the more immediate threat. You are distracted by the more immediate threat. I know a Baneblade isn't an immediate threat when there's infantrymen standing in front of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But immediately, it will come first. So you have an immediate threat threatening you and distracting you. It doesn't matter if it's about point of view, it's about point of story and narrative.
Really?
Yeah.
Normally you say the opposite.
The fire is distracted by the more immediate threat. That's why it gets the save. That's what it says here. You can get the fun. What I'm trying to tell you is you can get a cover save without giving a cover save, because your shots come from your weapon because you're a vehicle, right? Your Baneblade's a vehicle, which means your vehicle is going to be above that model, right? Is going to be above the guardsman.
Mm-hmm.
The turret's above the guardsman. But when they shoot at you, there's an intervening model that's distracting them. As the rules put it. Because your turret actually has an elevated position. They can't choose to shoot the top part of your vehicle. They just choose, I'm targeting your vehicle. There's no rule that says what part of the model you're shooting at. Should kind of be a cool unit, like... Anyway, what was I doing?
Misinterpreting rules.
It's not no, you're misinterpreting the rules. You're wrong. I'm right. You don't have to be such a masochist, man. You could take the benefit of playing guard like they're supposed to play. By guarding your tanks with your infantry. That's how they're played, man.
Doesn't make any sense.
How does that not make sense?
Doesn't make any sense.
Why do you think you get to choose what part of the vehicle it hits?
Wow, I didn't deburr that at all. Okay.
Where do you get the idea that you get to choose what part of the vehicle your shots are fired at?
It's not that you get to choose which part. It's that there is a part of the hull in line of sight. It's not a choice you get to make.
Right, so why... And there's a part of the hull obscured by intervening models.
Mm-hmm.
So... Why don't you get the cover save from that?
Because it works... It's that first sentence. You resolve it as normal. First and foremost, which is why it's the first thing in that passage.
I'm sure your guardsmen standing next to that tank are going to obscure 25% of it.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Not a quarter of it.
Your guardsmen will obscure 25% of it. Intervening models. I see what you're saying, that there is a contradiction. Like, why? No, because the 25% obscured doesn't apply to intervening models.
No, it does, just not
I
for
think
the
it only
gaps.
applies to terrain.
No, it does. That's why it says works as normal. And then it says, but if you count the intervening space as normal, which is 25, you ignore the normal rule for the intervening space, which is 25%.
Right, you ignore the rule, which is 25%.
For the intervening space.
Because you're distracted by a more immediate threat.
For the intervening space.
The 25% obscured doesn't have to do with intervening models. That's how I've always played. It happens in stores. At the stores I play at, I go intervening models. And they go,
I'm
okay,
sure they take your word
5
for
up.
it.
No,
I'm
it's
sure
the
they just
rule
take
in
your
the
word for
book. It doesn't matter if it's 25%
No,
obscured by the intervening models.
If it covers it.
It's not an
It's gonna be
argument. It's not like they
hilarious.
take my word. It's not an argument.
be
They just
hilarious
know
if it's
that's the
just
rule. I can't
More
believe you
than
don't know
25%
this.
obscured. No, I know.
You could just
what
go
you're
intervening models,
arguing.
cover save.
I think they're just trusting you.
They probably know the rules. They do it too.
That doesn't mean that you being right or wrong means
25%
that you're the
obscured
only
is
one.
just for area terrain. I'm going to go back to that page after I finish dry brushing these. Nerd fight!
Yes.
I can't believe you don't know that, Steven.
I know what
You can just call intervening models and you get a cover save.
I'm sure they were trusting you. You say intervening model, they go, okay.
Yeah. Dude, I've done it on a dude's knight. I had like infantry in the way and I shoot his knight and I'm like, dude, you get a
That's
cover
bullshit.
save. Like, yeah, you can do that. Your knights can always get a 5-up cover save if they're sitting backfield.
That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit. It's the rules. Like your Lehman Russes always get a cover save. You don't even need I guess you get a 4-up with the wall. That's much better. That's a much better chance for such an investment. We're back here again. All right, we're going to go back here. The target model's body, as defined on page 14. Oh, that's what we read that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is at least, if when you come to allocate a wound, the target's model's body is at least 25% obscured from the point of view of at least one firer, wounds allocated to that model receive a cover save. Unless otherwise stated, all cover provides a 5-up save. Some types of terrain provide better or worse cover saves. When this is the case, the cover save will be
I'm going to make sure
stated
everything's
in the rules for the
all
terrain.
good as far as our stream goes, just because, hang on, I need to see. I'm not trying to be a dick. Okay.
Can you not
Camera
put your
stream.
hand over the
I'm sorry.
page?
I apologize. I was just trying to, that's literally what I was apologizing for. We haven't had chats for a while, so I just want to make sure that everything is going well. I am just going to make sure everything's sound with the stream, just because it's low chat activity. Unless y'all are out there, and in which case, let us know that all is going well. So, Bennett, I'm just going to check that real quick and be back, okay?
What are you looking for?
I'm just going to make sure that everything's cool with the stream, because it's...
I wanted to take a break, because you just took that break.
Okay.
I'm going to go...
Go ahead and ask.
I'm going to go and do that.
Yep.
Well, I'll just look at it. See if the hardware's running, but...
It might be chat, though, so you're not going to be able to see that, which is what
No,
I'm
I could see it on our device.
Well, no, that's what would be coming up if it were going right.
No, there's no intervening models.
You're wrong, Bennett. I know you can hear me. You're wrong. Oh, thank you for bearing with that bit of silence. I was very, very carefully taking off some glue that had spread when I did not want it to. So uncooperative, this stuff. It can be so uncooperative. A little scraping and physical manipulation.
Okay,
and,
Stephen.
there you go. It's working.
The stream is still running. I've had time to think about what you were saying. And your argument is that your Baneblade is too big.
Yep.
Okay. My argument is that I still think you're wrong because you mostly play with the store models that are smaller.
No.
Yeah,
The store models are not smaller.
Yeah, they are. They're the old metal models.
I don't play with the metal models.
Oh, you play with the other Cadians.
Yeah.
Maybe
no,
you're
that
right.
the guy that you met who's got the old school Cadians, which our store has, those are smaller. I don't play with those.
We're gonna have to do some science next week.
We're gonna have to do some
when this
science.
Baneblade's built, and we're gonna put some Cadians next to it, and we're gonna decide once and for all if Steven gets a cover save from having Cadians in front of his
I won't
Baneblade.
take it.
I'm gonna give it to you. I'll roll it for you.
No, you're not.
I'll roll it for you.
No, you're not.
Why don't you obscure your Lehman Russes, and then put camo nets on them? And
I
then,
do that all the time. I get 4-up saves on Lehman Russes walking up the field.
But don't you get a 4-up save from the wall?
Yeah, I do both.
Can you put
Not in the
camo
same
nets
game.
on them?
I have before. Man, that's a lot of points.
How many points is a camo net on a Lehman Russ?
It was 20 points on top of a 150-point tank that I take a 10-point upgrade.
So you would get
about
you would get a 3-up save on your Lehman Russ by putting it behind the wall. That's worth it.
It's really expensive. They're so survivable
worth it.
already. It's worth it to not take any of them and take more stuff.
It's not about survivability. It's about preventing crew shaken and crew stunned.
I've got so much other firepower to make up. It's so awesome. If I put camo netting on all my vehicles, that's
One Lehman Russ. Take out a Russ. Get a 3-up save.
The points don't work out that evenly.
Or be mobile. Put guard in front of them and get a 4-up save.
When I'm being mobile like that, I prefer Bullgrins, which will give you 1+ to your.
And that's
cover
not
save.
expensive.
Well, I use the Bullgrins are way more useful. You're
That's
right.
not
That's
expensive, right?
really expensive. Oh, and it wasn't the stream that's still up; it's the chat.
Yeah, they're just chatting. We don't have a lot of viewers. I didn't think we were going to have a lot of viewers this week. But, that's why I'm kind of sub-hosting this other stream. Because it's the most exciting weekend in 40K all year. And here we are painting.
Wait. Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing on their stream.
We're going to have to see this Baneblade next to your infantryman to see if he's 25% obscured. So let's just say, or let's not just say, would you agree with me to say that for intervening models, because even if they're obscured through the gaps, that you would basically draw a line from the top point of the models intervening?
No, you would just say, "Can I see it?" Yes. Is it 25% obscured? No.
But you count the gap in between. But that's my point here, is that even if it's fully visible,
You don't count the gap unless it's not fully,
even if it's fully visible,
you can draw a line of sight to it.
even if it's fully visible, this guy's shooting at this guy, even if it's fully visible between the gaps, it gets a cover save. The rules explicitly say that.
If that's the closest guy, you don't get to target that guy.
Say he's the closest. Say I have. Oh, I see what you're. So say I have a
Yeah, I was
straight
gonna say
line
you
of
can't
gaunts.
target. You can't.
I have a
target that
straight
guy.
line of gaunts. Okay. So what you're saying? He could be the closest model, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a straight line of gaunts. Oh, that's actually okay. Let's move the
Yeah, I
gaunts
was
over.
gonna say.
Let's move this way, right?
That's yeah. Did you get the door, by the way?
What's at the door? I didn't order pizza yet.
Us making a shit ton of noise. Good. Thank you for getting the door.
Our audio is being like boomed through this whole room anyway. This whole building.
I'm sure that's really
Out of
really
like
well
5 other
received.
TVs.
for all the people producing music right now.
Well, probably not in the music room. It might actually still be on in the music room. I don't know. I haven't been in there.
Which is the music room if this is not the music room?
Right behind us. Behind this green screen.
Mm-hmm.
That rolls down, and there's a window there, and we could actually look into it.
Hi, you guys.
Okay, so here's the scenario.
I knew we'd have a nerd fight on the stream eventually.
Here's the scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had more than gaunts to do this with, because it's a little confusing. But technically, let's pull him further away to get a different perspective and just... Man, I just disagree with you.
You can disagree with me if you like.
I think you're going to get a cover save, because even if you have just one model like this... See, I have one model. Exactly, that's the case.
You have one model, exactly.
I have one model in that unit. There's a unit of 3 guys here between him and the fire. He is completely unobscured if I didn't use the guy with the claws out to his side, like so. He is completely unobscured, right? Steven?
Mm-hmm.
Is he completely unobscured?
Move your hand. Doesn't matter. Intervening gap.
Right.
Yep.
So
if you were in coherency. Oh, that'd be fun. If breaking coherency broke your cover save. Doesn't work that way.
Oh, that was an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a really interesting point.
That'd be a great... Sorry. That'd be a great penalty to breaking coherency. It's not just, okay, you have to spend the time to move together. It's no more cover saves.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. I think that'd be a good addition to the rules we're working on, that you were coming up with, and I would like to add to.
Well, I have some rules I have to come up with for my table.
Right.
Like, I kind of have to define the features and state how they're played and how the table works. I'll have a little pamphlet or maybe a... I wish cover saves stacked. So
They used to. In 3rd edition, they didn't stack on top of each other, but when you missed one, it was like Feel No Pain. Just, you didn't get one? Okay, you get the next thing. You also have an influence save? Yeah, you get that too.
Oh, so you get a cover.
You used to just never stop getting saves. Just, it was ridiculous.
That's funny. That's before my time. I see what you're saying, that your tank might be too big.
Yes.
I still think because... Okay, so here's my question, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's obscured because the gaps in the model count as obscuring it, right? That a unit is in the way, not... And a unit, I guess, can then consist of the space between the unit, right?
The unit does not consist of it?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's for the purposes of cover, they get the save. It's not that the unit's occupying that space.
Well, you can't move between a unit. What can move, but you can't. The unit occupies that space. It does. You can't move within another unit.
Oh, no. I see what I see the point you're getting at. It's not that it occupies that space, but you're right. You can't move through it as though it were occupied.
You can't move a unit through another unit.
Yes, that's correct. Even friendly units.
Even friendly units.
Unless you're in close combat, in which case that's different.
All goes to hell. People are dying. Swords are being thrown. Yeah.
Swords are being thrown. I like that.
This guy's kind of broken. This gaunt.
OP Gaunt. OP. Nerd fight. I knew we were going to have a nerd fight on stream.
I had some glue.
Yes, sir. What do you want?
See that gray crack?
Oh, that's...
Just fill it in. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Because it's going to be just basing material, but he's wobbling on it. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll use the back end of this brush. Hopefully to repair that. My argument is that because you don't have an elevated position on it, that if a line of sight can be drawn to any part of the model, it's also drawn through the unit intervening, right? So
Say that again?
line of sight can be drawn to any part of the model, right?
Yes.
It's defined
No,
as
the body. Legs, arm, heads, torso.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No banners, no antenna.
yeah, right. I know that. But my point is that you don't pick that point where they're viewing at. It's its view of the model. Now, if part of its view of the model is through the gaps of another model, you get a cover save. Because you're too distracted by the more immediate threat.
That bit of fluff was ridiculous. I'm distracted by something if it's literally any closer.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Watch out,
Acadian
watch-
conscript.
Conscripts. What are all...
Stop it. Is that a Gretchen?
Yeah. Because I always thought of 40K as like...
Shit.
What?
I hit F5. I was like, oh, that might update our chat, and it cleared all the other ones.
Hmm.
Oh, wells. Talk to us, peeps.
Nobody was saying anything anyway.
Start saying things to us anyway,
They were
peeps.
listening to our argument.
All chat room. Nerd fight. Wow. How do I close you?
Like how I would normally calculate the obscuration of a unit against a larger body like a Baneblade is at the top of that unit's head. So if there's Cadians in front of it, I would say that based on that we know that even if this was completely unobscured, right, it's obscured, it's intervened. So a Baneblade that's bigger, you wouldn't calculate just the models that are in the way to count it being obscured. You count kind of that whole mass.
I get
so
what you're
only,
saying.
you know what I mean?
No, I'm sorry. I understand your rationale. But at the same time, defeats the purpose of...
No, that's a tactical choice. That's how you gain survivability and move tactically down the battlefield.
Why is this... Oh, it's thick.
That is the 40K
I
tactics.
was wondering why this glue is taking so long to dry. The thick glue takes forever to dry.
I always thought it didn't take that long.
Were you waiting for it to cure?
Almost never.
Might have something to do with it.
I think you're wrong, Steven. I think you are wrong.
Since you've been wrong.
Fine. Then when you don't take those saves, I'm going to take that save on my Stormlord.
Oh, no.
I'm going to take that save
No.
on my Stormlord.
No. It's 25% obscured.
It's not. I think it's short enough. Stormlord also is shorter. Let me mind you. Mind you, it does not have a giant turret on the top of it. It does not have a turret on top of it.
No, we'll look at the pictures.
Let me mind you.
No, it has a turret. It just doesn't rotate. It has a taller hull.
I don't think the Stormlord has a turret, dude. It has
doesn't have a turret.
box
It has
for guys
a tall
to sit in.
ass hull.
Stormlord, fine. You know what? Maybe Stormlord will get the cover save, and Baneblade won't.
We're not going to do that.
Oh, we're going to calculate 25%.
It'd be hilarious if it's just not even pixels. If it's just not even 25%. If I have to count pixels.
If I have to count pixels from a digital photograph, get out my surveyor equipment, my orange surveying emergency vest thing. You know, the guy the street workers wear.
High visibility.
The high visibility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing serious shit vest. Viewers at home,
Echo.
If you know anything about 40K, tell us your thoughts.
Prove that I'm right.
Prove that he is a masochist and isn't taking a save when he probably could get one.
Oh, the Bob Ross stream's just starting over.
It's just looping?
Yep. We'll just drop that.
Yeah, I might just drop that. Give me a moment here. So I have to go and edit those frames. Let me finish painting these claws.
Which ones?
On the broadcast system.
No, I know. Which? Thank you, Bennett. Which frames on the broadcast system? I was
All
wondering
of
if
them.
anything's wrong.
All of them have that screen on it.
I see. Excuse my burp.
How dare you not take your
I've
cover
got
saves.
cash if you're serious about ordering pizza.
I am serious about ordering pizza, but for me to order it, I'd have to order it on the computer. And then I'd have to take that off the screen. So I have to take the computer off the screen. Hey, before we do that, though, we should go into the other room and look at Primarch Goylman. Goylman. Hey, Goylman! You're back from the dead. He actually is back from the dead.
Yeah.
That's the creepy part.
Was he one that had died? I don't know enough
He
about
was
the Primarchs because they're not
basically
playable.
dead in stasis.
Hmm.
Stasis. Basically dead. Yes. Probably just a zombie.
Like Jesus.
Like Jesus. He's a lot like Jesus.
He's all Jesus-y all the time.
He's your own
Except he's not
personal
gonna leave after a
ultramarine
few
Jesus. Your own personal ultramarine Jesus.
Thank you, Bennett.
Oh, I got paint on the back of his head. Wah, wah, wah,
What was
wah. A splash.
Brush it.
You could say it was an intervening model.
I'm a dreamer.
This is going to be an argument for the rest of our friendship, Stephen.
Yep. People hurt people. You know you're close to someone when you've done something that hurts them. And I just like that tune. I'm not trying to say this is like prison.
The only reason
Oh, that's embarrassing. Yep.
I have a more hardcore argument for my case.
Oh.
The only reason
A
I think
gamer arguing that he's right about something in game? Sorry, I just realized the meta of what we're doing. You're saying?
I'll have to show you the wording. Let me put this down for a second. Get out the book.
It just dries super shiny. It's dry. All right.
So, yeah, plastic glue dries shiny.
Cool.
It doesn't say that the cases that note that this does not apply if shots go over the unit, right?
It doesn't say that.
It says note
the
that
firer is at an elevated position.
it's not an example. It actually are specific cases. Either because the firer has an elevated position or is firing a barrage weapon rather than through it. That because if they don't have the elevated position,
Mm-hmm.
man, I think you're just so wrong. I think you are so wrong. I don't even want to share pizza with you. I can't.
I'll buy my own pizza.
I can't.
I'll
You
buy my
know,
own pizza.
I can't
I'll buy my own pizza.
condone your
I'll buy my own
survival and
existence?
make sure you. I can't like be okay with you existing. So you may as well starve. Because we're gonna play a team game, and it's gonna be you and me one day, and the issue's gonna come up.
It's if it's
and you're gonna
more
get us
th- I'm
killed.
not
You're
the
gonna get us killed.
only-
You're gonna
I'm
get
not
us
the only
killed,
person
Steven.
who's gonna disagree with you. You're gonna have to come. We're gonna have to come to a solution amicably.
I don't
or
care if
someone's
they
gonna have to
disagree
leave.
with me. I'm right.
You should care. You have
They're
to do this
wrong.
with other people.
Just because they disagree with me doesn't make them right, Steven.
Right, but we still have to deal with it. We have to deal with each other.
I can't deal with you anymore, man.
I feel like you've said that internally a lot, and yet you're still here.
I can't deal with you anymore, Steven.
Nickel for every time I heard that.
Yeah, dude. Why don't you want to cover save on your Baneblade?
Because it's wrong.
It's right. Why do these Why do you think tanks don't have saves, man?
They do. Cover saves.
Right. They're supposed to get their save from how they're positioned tactically on the battlefield.
And some tanks have an invuln save, I'd like to point out.
They do. That's true. Which makes them a better forefront tank. Like a Contemptor is like a frontline menace.
It has a invuln save, doesn't it?
It does. 5 up. Which means it's going to get that obscured save all the time.
Or a jinking vehicle.
Jinking's for losers, man.
No, jinking's for winners.
Why?
Jink is so good.
I don't know. I just have no interest in putting close. You know what I was thinking about building?
Everything.
A third command squad.
For Space Marines or for Guard?
Space Marines.
Can't go wrong with command squads.
Bikes with grav guns.
All
so
three
they're
of those
relentless.
things are,
So they're
are
relentless.
solid.
So they're relentless. So my bikes are toughness 5. I'll give them storm shields and grav guns, and they'll be 250 points of pain.
Pain balls.
250 points of daka.
Daka-doo.
They need a horde army that has invul saves all over it. Like Gaunts with invuls. I guess you could play like horrors or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say cultists or something like that.
Do cultists get an invul?
No, it's just such a chaos thing to do. I just.
Well, it's like a
assumed so.
demon thing. The chaos things get it from demons.
Right.
They don't get it from. I mean, you could get it psychically, I guess.
Right. It's an insight piece.
Fucking
Where the hell does this thing go?
Steven, why do you have to be so wrong sometimes?
Because it's fun to bother you.
It's not fun to bother me. I'm not to be bothered. How can you just be so wrong sometimes, man? I'm wrong all the time, so I don't know.
Yes,
But when you're wrong, it really hurts, man. You shouldn't be
Does
wrong.
it surprise you that I'm wrong every once in a while?
I know you're wrong every once in a while. Everybody who plays Warhammer is wrong every once in a while.
Exactly.
It's part of the humility of being a Warhammer player. Sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah, that's why. Is it mini wargaming that has that section rules you get wrong?
Yeah. Rules we got wrong. They actually, from their YouTube comments, they go back over the event and go, well,
Yeah.
we were wrong.
I see. I fucked up. Excuse my language. That's a big tank.
Yeah, well, probably stands a little taller than my Stormlord, so it probably doesn't get a cover save.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, when I throw my Stormlord, which I currently don't own.
Yeah, I think that's all you need. You know, the Forge World stuff is so sexy.
Actually, it'll probably not get a save from your Baneblade because of your elevated firing position.
I'm going to put your Stormlord in front of my Baneblade. That'll give me a cover save.
Yeah. And it actually would tactically make sense to put the Stormlord in front of the Baneblade. Unless I'm obscuring your shot. Why you gotta be so wrong sometimes? Ugh, I can't deal with it.
Being a human.
What do you like on your pizza?
Pepperoni and onions, but...
And onions?
Yeah.
Why do you have to be so wrong sometimes, Steven? Why you gotta be so wrong sometimes?
Ball means...
I'm so glad you didn't say pineapple.
I do love pineapple and ham.
Yeah, pineapple and ham. I guess it works well with the ham.
Yeah, sweet, salty, and sweet fruit.
But that's like a lunch pizza, man.
You're a lunch pizza, man.
It's dinner time.
All right.
We need good old dinner pizza.
Bacon.
I like sausage and pepperoni, like a nice meaty pizza.
Sure. That sounds really fucking good.
Mm.
Excuse my language again.
Do you like pizza? Come on over. We'll give you a slice. All right. Stay right here. Then I'm going to call you into the other room. Oh, that looks great. That's... Look, can I
my bad.
Excuse me?
It's like, don't you have room on the other side?
No, I don't.
I know.
I don't.
Oh, me and that man. Is that... Right. Nerd fight. We all knew they were going to happen. You know when you found this channel. Oh. It dries brown. I'm really glad I found out that plastic glue dries brown on your table instead of on my clothes. That would have been bad. So yeah, and absolutely, by all means, if any of you all have any insights or observations about that rule, please let us know, or about any rule, you know. But feel free to send us a question about anything 40K or really tabletop gaming related, and we'll of course answer it to the best of our abilities. By which I mean have another nerd fight. No, I mean our expertise is in Warhammer 40,000, but by all means, we'll talk to you about anything that you want. So do drop us a chat. Excuse me. Excuse me for texting like this. I know it's not very good streaming, but I have a couple pressing things going on. Wouldn't do it otherwise. So yes, regardless of whatever arguments that Bennet and I may get in, we're going to have a ton of fun playing this against each other. Playing our super heavies against each other. My Baneblade and Hellhammer, and his Stormlord. Begins.
heavy to set up.
Those are literally famous last words in our profession, Bennett.
I think
I've technically got this set up.
I think I technically got this set up. Okay.
I
So
have
what
this-
I'm going to do here is I'm going to go
Paint
to
it for
this
the killers.
window. And this is what we're streaming now. Are you watching that?
Cool.
Wow, there's kind of a delay here.
Yes, there is.
But
That and we have it embedded as well as none of those people play Warhammer.
we have it embedded. Whatever. We're going to...
Gathering Storm 3. Oh, I wonder who that is.
That's
That's Guliman.
Robert Gilliman.
Robert Guliman.
Now, how do I scroll on such...
Probably
Hey,
two finger.
You
Is this
think
the
so?
cursor? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Told her. I told you. Who's Grandmaster Voldus?
So... Because we haven't talked about this yet.
Think just reach. Oh, yeah. The video game. McGregor.
Oh my god. I'm trying to do this on a monitor. I know you think like, yeah, computer monitors, that's what you do that on. Also, Titan. Hold on, can I start this over?
If we get there. Ah.
So the story,
Would it be Re-Rise of the Primarch?
is that Cypher's gonna help Gilliman get back to Terra.
Look
It's the
at
Emperor's sword.
that.
Also, Titan.
Oh,
How cool is that?
it's
If we get there. If we get there.
mm.
So, and then I think they show some of the models. So, Grandmaster Voldus. Nemesis Forcehammer is the first Grey Knights character we've ever made in plastic.
Oh.
And like their line of infantry, his armor is an artificer's masterpiece, decked out in the holy icons of the Emperor and his secretive chapter. Cypher, speaking of secrets, Cypher, Schmeifer, and Gilliman. So he could be...
Don't scroll past Guliman.
I'm trying not to, but this is very difficult. So Gilliman, Robert Goilman, he can be modeled without a helmet or with a helmet.
With and without. That.
But he looks
Emperor's
definitely
sword.
way cool.
That's so cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So I thought you should see
Yeah.
that he's returning. So now that that's off, I'm gonna look into pizza.
Do look into pizza.
Hopefully the pizza looks back.
Isn't that Nietzsche? You stare into the abyss or stare into the pizza too long, the pizza stares back at you.
Yeah. I'm also going...
Am I right? No, I was right.
Gonna take a break here for a second.
Anywho. Back to watching glue dry. No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. That's what that looks like. This is what this looks like. Yeah, this plastic glue, I do not have the fondest memories of using it, but at the same time, its results are excellent. So, if you find it, it's allegedly out of production now. If you find it, I do recommend it, along with the Citadel Super Glue, and apparently they still make their PVA glue, but that's just Elmer's. By all means, save yourself some money, just use Elmer's. And there's still the thin plastic glue, which is excellent. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, we are on this iteration of the thick plastic glue. There were other iterations that came with an actual nail polish dispenser. We're past that. Hello, Bennett. Doing all right, man. How are you? Aside of out of frame.
Ben wants to throw down on some pizza as well.
We're gonna fight over a pizza?
Pizza.
Yeah.
So you got cash?
Yeah, I do. What's the damage?
I have to turn my microphone.
No worries. What's the damage?
I don't know yet. What's your offering?
Receipts. I have 20.
I might have to owe you a couple bucks.
No worries. No worries.
Or I could order it and everybody can give me.
No worries, man. No worries. Not a lot of opportunities for me to say that lately. No worries, but this is one of them. Excuse me. Oh, I see Flippy Monkey has joined us. How are you, Flippy? Garion, thank you for staying with us. I hope you feel better. G. Seeholzer still with us? Excellent to have you as always. See, we have a new mod. Okay, cool. And of course, thank you to the rest of us, to the rest of you who are with us. Absolutely, we're certainly here for you all. You know, the people who want to get into or follow this hobby or just learn more about it. Not just this game and the hobbying aspects, although it's obviously a big part of it for us, but also just talking about games in general. You know, I mean, especially tabletop games, but games in general. You know, and game design as well as not just that subdiscipline, but game development in general. And as with last time, a little at least, well, I'd like to at least talk about why games matter. We got a chance to do that a lot more than I ever thought on our first stream that I'd get to, at least that early on in our show. Good, how are you guys? We're doing well. We started a little late, but other than that, you know, that minor thing aside, no complaints. More time goes on, the more I think Bennett might have been right. Our viewership may have dropped because of the Las Vegas Open. I didn't think that our audience would be as concerned with the Las Vegas Open, which, for those of you who are just joining us, is the biggest Warhammer, not just Warhammer 40,000, but also Warhammer Age of Sigmar and other tabletop gaming. I imagine Fantasy Flight Games, just because they have a partnership with Games Workshop for producing licensed tabletop games. They are, of course, the same manufacturer as X-Wing, the miniatures game. So it's a big convention and also a gigantic ITC tournament, the biggest in the country. I thought that our viewership, our demographic, and the demographic, hey, it's for horses. I love dad jokes. I apologize for nothing.
It's
Flippy Monkey.
Hoser.
It is Flippy Monkey.
What's up, mate?
Oh.
When are you gonna come down here and hang out with us? We could pull the camera back and fit 3 at this table. Aren't you building an Eldrar? What is your favorite childhood game? Like video game? Board game? I was a big Risk fan. I like Risk. I love playing Risk. I should probably buy another copy. Maybe I have another copy.
I have Risk Legacy, and I've never played it because I was too busy for a long time.
When are we going to play Risk Legacy, man?
1 of 10 times. That's the nature of Risk Legacy.
Childhood games? I mean, I played a lot of...
I'm sure there's like tag and things like that, but I get the feeling that's not what they're asking.
You know, we played some serious tag in my neighborhood. We played some serious tag. We had serious water balloon fights, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
I don't know. I got my ass kicked when I was a kid a lot. Whatever you like, I'm going to finish this town when I get back to it. Yeah, so games of tag was always... I was a fat kid. I got picked on a lot for that and outran a lot for that and tried to chase after people and defend myself, and it didn't work. Don't have a lot of happy memories about tag.
But that's not a game... Oh, that's tag. We had some serious... We had my parents' property. We had a tree fort in the front. And our neighbor had a ground fort in the front yard. Wooden forts, serious people. My dad is...
Kind of a horrible neighborhood did you grow up in, that there were fortifications at the front of every property?
It's just the way it was. My dad, who's
I don't
very
know your
wood
world.
savvy and power tool savvy.
I don't
and
know your world.
Their father, who's actually a contractor, helped facilitate such a
He's a
childhood.
contract killer.
And we would have like water balloon fight wars, like with like base hoses. We had the front yard hose as like a base defense.
Base hose. Oh, you had like machine gun nests.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
had machine
water
gun
wars.
nests,
I
like
had
with a
water wars.
hose, and then
Yeah.
we had like buckets of water balloons, and it was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
We had some good times doing
Yeah.
that. But like games, I played a lot of NES, and I don't.
N64 was my system.
It's
A
getting
friend of
so
mine.
long ago. I'm 30 now. I'm like, I don't remember.
You'll remember. Trust me. Those are the things that you're passionate. These are the
I'm
things
starting
you
to
are
like
passionate
forget
about.
my childhood, and I'm like,
Oh,
I could live
nonsense.
forever and only care about the last 20 years.
Well, you're only 30. That only cuts out 10 years. I mean, you're not going to have memories until you're like a toddler.
At least 15.
At least what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yikes.
I don't have any important memories
I don't have any important.
until I was at least 13.
Mm.
Nothing like life is serious sort of stuff. Games. What other games?
I grew up jealous of my friend with an NES and SNES and grew up always wanting one, and that was my
Posture?
big
Posture?
theory.
Posture? Alright, go on.
Being a little brat that I was, that's the only thing I ever wanted, and my dad upgraded me for my first game system to an N64, and it helped make me the man I am today, and I'm being completely serious. So Super Mario 64 and
Super
the
Mario
Banjo-Kazooie
64
series,
was like one of the best Marios
one of the best
ever.
games ever made. The first 3D platformer.
That
Those
was
are
so
my
good.
games. Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie Banjo-Tooie.
I never really was a Banjo-Kazoo.
You are a diarrhea person, and you make bad decisions.
I had Taco Bell quite a lot yesterday.
You are a diarrhea person, and you make bad decisions. Yes.
You don't accept your cover saves when you're damn well far earning of them.
No.
Dude, you need to come here. Let me know. Let's talk. You can meet us here, or we can carpool, because you're on our way, and I'll bring your Tau, and if you want to work on some Tau and talk about Tau, I could bring the books, and we can discuss Tau. And you can paint them. I think they're all primered.
What I've seen, yeah.
They're all primered. They just need paint. I thought you said you were doing Eldar.
Oh, another Eldar player.
It's about time we get some
They're
Eldar.
really powerful. Hearing Eldar player just means another horrible, horrible thing to contend with.
I like fighting Eldar since I got my brother that Eldar. I want to play against it more because I kind of want to like try to exploit it.
We should play with
Thing is,
Kevin.
I
Kevin's
play
been an
Eldar
player
so
forever.
infrequently, against Eldar so infrequently. Probably one of the most infrequent armies I play against. Out of the common core armies, not those obscure ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I've ever played against Harlequins.
No. Or Dark Eldar.
I played Dark Eldar.
The guy in Emerald Knights.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben's got some Dark Eldar, but still.
Dark Eldar is tough.
Really?
As Tyranids, yeah. They're
Oh, Bennett,
that-
I love you, but
that poisoned
pretty
against my... I
much-
can't play monstrous creatures, dude.
Oh, that's...
They get shredded.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Talking about, yeah, I kind of want to like try to figure out how to pick them apart. Because I played against Tau the other day.
Indeed.
And I have so much
Seeholzer.
experience fighting Tau because of Preston, you know? That I don't... Like, they don't scare me. I'm not, like, afraid of them. I kind of know how to deal with them and their antics and what their capabilities of. I'm very comfortable with their stat lines to know. Like, I think I remember, like, Fire Warrior stat lines and Tau stat lines better than I remember my own Tyranids.
That happens. Oh, I used to know the reanimation all the special rules, all the, not just reanimation, the protocols.
Like, this dude had Pathfinders. And I was just like, well, I know what can instantly kill a whole unit of those, like, in my army. So I'm used to killing them.
I can't leave my Tau hanging all primered and ghetto, says Flippy Monkey.
I know, dude. I know. It's time you pick them back up. You were like, you can have them. And I was like, I refuse.
Your children have been waiting in the playground outside school for some years now, sir.
They're just sitting there. I actually played them like twice.
I played them once as well.
One time I played them, I built an infantry army, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. I had Pathfinders with rail rifles and stuff, and I was going to have such a good time. I show up to the store with my list, and this guy, he's like, you want to play? And I was like, yeah. So the dude brings chaos demons, and everything has an invul save, and all my high AP stuff did nothing. I got destroyed. And I thought I had a great list, and I probably did, except my matchup was just really not good for it because he had invul saves on everything. So that was disappointing. The other time I played your Tau out of my house was a kill team tournament. Your army represented me in kill team. And my army was 3 stealth suits, 1 with a fusion blaster, and then a Pathfinder team with 3 rail rifles, and I was just going to try to pick off targets. The popular list there was 3 bikes and a tactical squad, and that was the finalist. Like, everybody played that list, and everybody played Space Marines or Astartes and played that list, or they played Tau and played something weird. Like, one of the Tau played Crisis Suits and a Piranha. Oh, and then there was one orc player.
The guy who works at that store?
No. And then there was one orc player.
Orcs!
Who did pretty well.
Oh, my face. Sorry about that, everybody.
And I didn't do well at that tournament either because they were mostly close combat bikes.
Bennet, I love you,
but the stealth teams were amazing in kill team. I would bring stealth teams to a kill team again. Lots of ruins to get an amazing cover save in. Like, there was a lot of times my stealth teams had 2-up cover saves throughout, like, most of the games. I always put them in positions where they were getting 2-up cover saves, which would basically be like ruins. So I put them in ruins, and then they just had an amazing cover save, and then they get charged in close combat and don't get a cover save. So it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm learning this year that competitive 40K is a lot different than casual 40K, which I'm used to. It's a really completely different beast. And I find it less enjoyable in terms of collecting because I'm massing things that I just don't always really want to mass. So I don't know, for competitive 40K, nah. I don't think I'd mind doing it with a Space Marine chapter so much. Because everything kind of looks the same, so it's kind of easy to mass something like, you know. And then I've played Tau against your orcs at my place. I like the Tau army. It's nice. I like the Kroot. I think I would have been better off at that kill team tournament if I didn't take the stealth teams at first. It was Pathfinders and Kroot. And I think I would have done a lot better with that list after seeing what the orc player did with his high numbers. He was just durable. Problem is, you take a break test when you lose 50% of your models.
For kill team, yeah.
And that happened to me. And that was also my first time playing kill team. It was my second time ever playing kill team, so I wasn't too savvy with it. Kill team had just come out. And they were having this tournament, and a lot of the guys that I saw there had played a lot of games because I'd be sitting there painting, and they'd be sitting there playing. But yeah, cool army that Tau.
Yeah.
You know what they have at that store? They have the Tidewall Rampart for $160, and I really want it.
That is really cool. That's not a limited model, right? Yes,
No.
Yeah.
It's a standard part of their army now. But I told you how I want to build my Tau, right? I want to build the Tidewall.
Oh God, no!
I want Towner and I want Tidewall, and
he wants the biggest, most expensive thing in the Tau army.
Yeah, the biggest robot. If you're gonna get
No.
big robots,
No.
get the biggest robot and never complain.
I'm gonna complain.
Just have the biggest,
I'm gonna complain a lot.
dopest robot around. Town R, man. But I think I'm gonna buy that Tyranid Titan this year.
That's cool. I'm glad you're not giving up on your nids. I love how nobody gives up on their first army.
I love my nids. I don't always agree with them.
Town and Tidewall is dope. No. Yeah. Yes, it is.
So one of the
They're
Tidewall
so
formation.
vain, they put their own name in it. Everything's got a suffix like nar, and they just call it the Tau nar. Size matters, yes.
One of the formations for the Tidewall, because there's 2 Tidewall formations. One of them restricts actually how it's placed on the board. You have to make a square out of it.
Yes, it's a it follows the normal rules for defensive barricades, where you have to have the ends touching, except you also
No,
have
3
a
inches
specific
at the
shape.
ends. You have to make a 4-sided box.
Gotcha.
So you can make a trapezoid or something, but you have to make a 4-sided box. And then you could put Town R inside that, right? Inside that 4-sided box. The other formation is a little more open to options because you could spend less points on those walls and take things like drone ports, which is basically just non-scoring drones, which are a really good place to put marker light teams or put marker light drones because you get like 4 drones a port and it's only 60 points. It's actually a really good deal. For a non-scoring drone team.
Yes, Flippy Monkey. Yes, Town R can use it as a hula hoop. God, I want to do that. You can get you may buy Town R now. I have an idea for what to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, Town R is really cool. Check it out on Forge World. They actually, you know what's funny is they keep releasing new weapons for it. They've like since it's come out last year, they've released like 3 or 4 new weapons for it. Or maybe 2 new weapons or something, I don't know. But they like extended the Town R range to include more Tau and more Nar. More Nar with that Tau.
Shoot some Nar, bro. Oh no. Why do I not have that really important piece?
But yeah, I want that Tyranid Biotitan, man. But I just need them painted first before I can justify that purchase. And I want to increase my girth. My Tyranid girth. I want to buy a couple more monstrous creatures and things to just kind of make it feel right on the table. If I laid everything out, I don't just want a Titan and... Well, I don't mind doing that with Town R, though, I think.
Yeah, did you say you don't want a Titan?
No, I mean, not for my nids. I don't want the Titan unless I feel like my army numbers are deserved of a Titan.
Deserve it.
So Ben's getting pizza, man.
Very nice of him.
He went to go pick it up himself.
It's very, very nice of him. Why is that not working? That's exactly why that's not working.
Hey, what time is it?
It's time to get L. It's 9:40.
Yeah, and all the rules for Town are on the Forge World website, so you could read about
They're
it.
getting less miserly. They're putting rules not in gigantic art books, which are beautiful. Like that's a service in and of itself that they could have. I believe it's reasonable to charge for. But I mean, they're not charging for just
Well, when
a
they
line
release
of
something
rules,
new,
you know?
the rules aren't
the rules
published
are going to be
anywhere.
there. Exactly. Well, they used to just either not give it rules for a while or only release it even if it were ready when they were ready to release a book, which is why you have all those campaigns that didn't have a campaign. Like that wasn't gameplay for a campaign. It was they would release a bunch of models at once because it was all ready because they didn't want to give you anything for free, even a line of rules. And they've lightened up a lot. Even the website got easier to use.
Taunar. Yeah, they did that huge like website. They said it was like a merger.
Yeah.
Games Workshop and Forge World, and I never saw them as separate, but whatever. publicity stunt. Yeah, that Forge World stuff is cool. I have a lot of
Storm
Forge
Surge is pretty good. Town is just
World.
even
Storm
better.
Surge. No, man. Town R, go big or go home, you know. I actually really like the Storm Surge, though.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on points, though. Town R, 2 Storm Surges.
2 Storm Surge.
And, like,
Oh my god.
6 Ghost Keels. That sounds great.
I like the Ghost Kill the best. I like all the camo paint jobs that everyone's been doing. But you're right. Anything that dirty and mucky just obscures the detail. You know, it doesn't really...
I like Clean Towel. I know you like Dirty
I
Towel.
like Dirty Towel.
I like Clean Towel.
I like Dirty Towel.
I think if I painted Towel, I would just... Oh, no. I would just use one color. I would do, like, one color depth, like a very cartoony, flat-looking Towel. It would be a fun army.
Mm-hmm.
Storm Surge is good. It's fragile. Fragile, fragile, fragile.
You're fragile.
You know what people said was the biggest thing about Storm Surge or something? That it can get like rammed by a rhino and like killed, or maybe that was Townar because it's a gargantuan creature.
Yeah.
Like they can kill it with a rhino. That's if the rhino gets close.
Mm-hmm.
Know thy enemy. Just pecking at your ankles. Stupid rhinoceroses. Rhinoceroses. Painting goals. Painting goals. It's really boring painting armies. I never want to paint a horde on stream again.
Agreed.
I
do
kind
think
of want to
I don't
like
think this is
focus on
boring.
one
I just
creature.
think that
I'm bored.
it'd be better if you... I mean, last stream I thought was more, from a hobbying perspective, was more interesting. Not that this isn't cool, you know? People probably had a lot of questions about, oh, what's it like to paint the horde instead of the big guys, you know?
You know, next week we won't be here. Next week I think I'm going to be back to painting my Space Marines, my nice quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My prize army.
Do a mock engagement between 2 units. Cool. We could. We don't have to do a mock engagement. We can do an engagement.
I want to do an engagement between that Baneblade and some units of mine.
Sure. Shame it won't get a cover set.
Will you
Crush the Xeno scum. Yes.
curse the Xeno scum? We all have a little Xeno scum in us.
I have a lot of Xeno scum. They're orcs.
I got my. I'm holding them.
Hmm?
I'm holding my Xeno scum.
We also have Eldar at home and Tail.
It's not my Tau.
True.
It's not my
I just
Eldar.
realized that. I just realized that.
Actually, some of it is my Eldar.
Yeah, the silver stuff is all yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Curse the Xeno scum.
Here's the Xeno scum.
Build it.
Building it.
Build it.
Building it.
Build it.
Cool. See you, Flippy.
It'll be right back.
That's why I said I'll see you.
Dude, does he know a Primarch's back to life? I'll have to ask him if he ever expected this to happen. So what are you assembling now? Let's go over to
hull.
Stephen Cam.
Stephen Cam is best cam. I did have it the right way.
It is a mighty big tank you got there.
Well, thank you. Good. Oh, my God. Hell yeah. I was worried. I was thinking to myself, no, it's been too long. I just want to play it. But then I didn't think I'd be able to deburr it. I didn't think I'd be able to reach. I can reach it. Yeah. I think I'm just going to build it then.
Do it.
Doing it.
Do it.
Doing it. Doing it. Hang on, I gotta piece this together first.
I think the pizza's here.
Pardon me. Shall we eat in shifts or oh crap.
Just gonna eat here.
I think I'm gonna take a quick break before we do that. Yeah, that needs to dry. Ooh, not that one. Alright, everybody. I will BRB. And we will see. I'm racing Flippy Monkey to see who returns first.
Seems interesting.
Thank you, sir.
Where's this bazaar?
What do you think? That's on the table.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
Hey, if you go out there, if there's plates or something, you
Ooh.
bring me some slice.
Some slice. Back. Oh, you won, Flippy Monkey. We're gonna see. I'm about to take a break. We're about to see who won. Who made it back? All right then. I will grab you some pizza before I step out. If there are plates and things, you want to just bring the box.
Or whatever, you know, assess the situation.
Get you pizza.
See if you have intervening models that might give you a cover save.
Not for the Beyblade. Alrighty, I'll be back.
So Flippy Monkey, did you hear the return of the Primarch? The Primarch of the Ultramarines is back, and he's available for purchase in March. And he has a sick model. He stands like twice as tall as any other Space Marine. And it's really exciting. It's the most exciting thing that's happened since Cadio was destroyed. But it brought him out of stasis. So, Cadio's destroyed. Galman's back. The Grey Knights have a new unique hero. The Eldar are birthing a god. Because that's what the Eldar do. Yeah, Galman's back. They're bringing him back. This just go to... Where is it? There he is. That's him. Lord of Ultramar. If I could scroll, I would, but I can't. Because I relinquished myself of scrolling ability. But that's him. So, he's back. He looks really cool. Very nice, very nice. It's getting good. So this is the beginning of Warhammer 40k is actually starting this year. The first real events to actually happen. Because all the other events were not real, they were fake events. Oh, yeah. It's very exciting stuff. I'm gonna look at Steven's Baneblade. Very exciting. Very exciting. Maybe I can get a better angle on his on his working, because he's doing stuff that's way more exciting than what I'm doing. But yeah, Primarchs are back. There's also the Demon Primarch Magnus. Magnus is back as well. He was back first before Guilman came back. Just put it over there, I suppose. You know, on the table somewhere.
It is leaking cheese. I had to swing some over.
Leaking cheese.
Hope you don't mind me touching it.
Don't touch my cheese.
So you did want it lower.
Well, now that you're working, perhaps I did.
Careful, I'm falling passionately back in love with saying it.
That's a nice angle.
Get out before you set up the camera. I'm gonna move this stuff over.
Well, this is still a better angle than we could have gotten with the other system. Yeah, Magnus was a demon Primarch, so now he's like has horns growing out of him. He's crawled out of the warp. Brought to you by pizza. And, or something. I don't really know the story with Magnus. What? In a cup. And his model's really cool. A great sculpt. It's delicious. It's good pizza. Wow. So, there's gonna be like Primarch battles. It's gonna be ridiculous. I have no idea. We sent a guy to get some pizza. He came back with it. It's pretty good. Gets on your lap. Caught all on camera. But, this is pizza from another world. Wow. Ormagons. Life is simple today. Thank you. Something which may or may not be an alcoholic beverage. And, yeah. Good old times. Don't mind me. Guys, go get a snack. Take a break, you know? Order a pizza. Yeah. think what I'm going to do is take a break here for a minute. I don't really like eating on stream, so I'm going to walk away. It's customary to slurp when you eat in Japan. Thank you, Tenchi. Japanese customs in America. I'm going to take a break for a minute and not eat on stream. But I'll leave this here. You could just stare at it and marvel as to my armor guns. Maybe I'll put some finished ones there to make it a little more exciting. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm back. I realized it's 10 o'clock, and usually my regular plan for this stream is to go till 9. And because it's usually to go till 9, we're going to keep working because we both don't want to stop. We were just talking about it. I want to finish these gaunts. He wants to put together this Bane blade into more pieces. So we don't really want to stop, so I think we're going to keep going here and just hanging out and working on stuff. So you're welcome to stick around and hang out with us. But, yeah. Oh, man. That was some good pizza. I don't know where it was from. That was something else. Let's see. I guess I'm over here. Do some painting. I'm gonna just reassess where I was. So, this is my beverage. Got my beverage. Oh, man. My paint cup. And my other beverage. Because options are nice. Maybe I should put my beverage on the other side, not next to the paint cup, in the same red cup. I think I'm gonna dry brush these and read a story while I wait for Steven. So I like stories. I have a great story I want to read about Tyranids. From the Tyranid book. Maybe I'll read them another day when I paint that figure. But I could find another story, perhaps. New Tau maybe. Yeah, they said there's going to be a lot of new stuff this year. They said they're probably going to do some new Tau stuff, new Tyranid stuff, and I think that's what they said. Maybe they didn't say that. Maybe I'm going off 40K conspiracy theorists who come up with what they think the agenda is going to be. Everybody says there's going to be a new edition rulebook this year, and I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. There's too many releases. They're doing too much story stuff to, I think, warrant a rulebook change. I don't think they can, with all these little supplements and everything they're putting out, I don't think they can warrant people paying for a new rulebook and all these books. I just don't think it's a smart move for them to do a new core rulebook this year. Everybody says it's coming. I don't believe it. So whatever. But Plastic Sisters of Battle, I think, are one of the next big releases. And what else? I guess Guileman and the other guys, Cypher and the Grey Knights Grandmaster. Alright, another foregaunt's done. Let's get out a book, maybe read a story. Let's see. What are my cameras? Okay. I want to read more stories from this new book. If I can find where I put the new book. Fractures. No. Gathering Storm. Fall of Cadia. Should be around here somewhere. There it is. I've found it. So this is, like I said, the first book in the Gathering Storm series. You can see the one. Just glare that right in your face so you can't see anything. And this brought about some interesting events and some interesting rules. But let's pick a story. Okay, this one. The air was thick and the screams of burning Caserkin. The air was thick with the screams of burning Caserkin, the roar of gunfire and Black Legion's harsh oaths. Creed twisted around, searching for allies in the dust and smoke. Pizza. He found none, only the dead. Cadia stands, Creed bellowed the mantra. No other voice took up the cry. Mocking laughter cut across the cacophony. Creed raised his pistol, sending shot after shot into Abaddon's path. One raised a livid wound upon the despoiler's pale brow. The others refracted across his Baroque armor. Cadia is dead, thundered Abaddon. Even now, its doom comes. The monstrous lightning claw lashed out. Creed fell amongst the dead, blood oozing from a ravaged arm, electricity arcing across his armor. His pistols had gone, one cast aside by the claw's strike, the other slipping from a bloodied hand whose fingers had been sliced away. Yet Creed felt no fear, only defiance. Cadia lives, while but one of its soldiers fights on. Crackling talons closed around Creed's neck, hoisting him effortlessly into the air. I set this world's fate in motion before I even made planetfall. But for hubris, I would never have set foot here at all. Your games with the pylons have only reinforced the folly of pride. Creed clawed at the talons with his one good hand. They might as well have been carved from stone. But now, rumbled Abaddon, the corpse bride has fled. The will of Cadia is broken. The Imperium will follow. I do you the honor of being the last to die by my hand. Take solace in knowing that this benighted world will not long outlast you. Abaddon drew Creed in, choking off his attempts to speak. Cadia has fallen. Abaddon's grip tightened, the vertebrae of Creed's neck ground together. As darkness closed in, the Lord Castellan knew only shame. Cadia has stood proud for 10,000 years only to fall under his watch. The humiliation of failed duty was worse than any death. A roar of pain dragged Creed out of the darkness. A golden figure, pale as death, stood behind the despoiler. Her sword thrust deep into his spine. The talons snapped open and Creed fell. The Emperor protects, breathed Celestine. So it seems that was this black excerpt here, probably from the novel which accompanies this. This is a synopsis of a novel, and this is more game-focused for rules. So Celestine kills Abaddon, who's the dude on this cover here, and saves Creed's life. I was worried they were reading that. I was like, am I reading the part where Creed dies? Or maybe he just wounded Abaddon, but that's pretty exciting. So yeah, good lore. Lots of lore. Oh, and if you're wondering what Celestine looks like, and she is a model I want to own, that is Saint Celestine, the woman who stabbed the guy holding Creed. And her rules are pretty good. I want to own her for those rules. But wonderful book. I've been having fun with this one. Reading little bits, just reveling in the idea of it. Oh, how was the tourney? It was alright. I didn't do that well, and I wasn't expecting to, because it's my first ITC. I didn't bring a list I felt confident in winning at all, because I just wanted to play the format. But it was not really a big official tournament. It was just a small store using the format. But it was fun. Lots of interesting armies. There were no Tau there at all. We were joking about that. We're like, where's the Tau? So. Ooh. Ooh. Maybe Steven's right, because that's the size of the tank he's building. Maybe they won't get a cover save. The bunch of Astroyan, huh? That's a pretty picture. Town on, yeah. So the page I was just reading. Oh, and the Black Templar, come and hang out. I read that one earlier. That's Creed, the guy we were hearing about, who was clutched by Abaddon. That's his beautiful self. It's a pretty cool book. Pretty neat. So they added a lot of new rules in this if you would choose to play with them. The Empiric Storms, which are for basically, it's really fun to play if both sides have Psychers. They add a lot of weird rules, which each time a Psyker suffers a peril of the warp, roll twice on the perils warp table and apply both. Select a Psyker on the battlefield. Re-roll all failed saves for that model. Some interesting rules you roll on at the beginning of a turn. Some new missions to play. Excuse me. I know a couple people with a lot of chaos, and these are all chaos versus Imperium scenarios. So Belisarius called, people are saying he's the best unit in the game right now for his points and everything. So let's look here. Weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength 5, toughness 6, 5 wounds, 3 initiative, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 2 up save. He has an arc surge, which I have no clue what that does. Let's find out. Arc Scourge, page 132. Strength +1, AP 4, so he would be strength 6. Melee, Haywire, Machine Scourge, Mastercrafted. A model equipped with this weapon can re-roll the result when rolling to determine the effect of the Haywire special rule. That's pretty cool. A Mastercrafted Power Axe. Mechadendrite Hive. What's a mechadendrite hive? When a model equipped with the mechadendrite hive makes melee attacks, it makes an additional 2d6 attacks with its mechadendrites. That's a lot of attacks. And a single attack with its data spike. All at initiative step 10. Those attacks do not grant the model an additional pile-in move. So he gets 2d6 strength 4 AP nothing attacks. Whoa. Scryer Skull. At the start of each of your turns, a model with the Scryer Skull can choose to identify a single mysterious objective anywhere on the battlefield. That's pretty good. And a Refractor Field, he has a 5-up invulnerable save. Now he has Canticles of the Archmagos, which is a huge thing for like Colt and Scutari. These like Canticles, I guess, Colt Mechanicus. So, friendly units from the armies of Imperium within 12 inches of them. So anything in the armies of Imperium, even if they don't have the Canticles of the Omnissiah special rule. At the start of my turns, I can choose one. So I could choose a Harmony of Metallurgy. 1 to 3, it'll get It Will Not Die, which is pretty good. 4 to 7, It Will Not Die. Make 2 It Will Not Die rolls for units instead of only 1. That's really nice. And 8 plus It Will Not Die. Make 3 It Will Not Die rolls for affected units instead of 1. So they're just going to regain health back. He's like a serious healer. Utterance of Neutralization. Wow. +1 ballistic skill, +2 ballistic skill, +3 ballistic skill. And War Hymnal of Fortitude. +6 invulnerable save, +5 invulnerable save, or a +4 invulnerable save. Then he also has the Canticles of the Omnissiah, which has been around. So stubborn, and reroll failed, morale, fear, and pinning, and fearless. Reroll hits of 1, reroll hits of 1 and 2, reroll failed to hits when making close combat attacks. Those are all close combat. Then stealth and shrouded. Reroll hits of 1, same thing, but shooting attacks. +1 strength, +2 strength, +3 strength. And then one that makes them suffer 1, 2, or 3 strength 4 AP nothing hits at initiative step 10. I would say he's pretty good. And at the start of each of your turns, he recovers D3 wounds lost earlier in the battle. And he can re-roll failed feel no pain rolls. He's like invincible. And then he has a strength 10 AP1 assault D3 mastercrafted meltagun. A solar atomizer. That's no joke. 200 points, what a bargain. What a killer dude. Celestine I talked about last week. So I'm going to pass on reading that. But Inquisitor Greyfax, why is he so good? So he has a mastercrafted Condemner bolt gun. Let's see. So strength 5, AP nothing, assault 1, psi shock, 1 use only. Unit containing at least 1 psyker is hit by a weapon. With the size of 1 randomly determined psyker model in that unit suffers perils of the warp. Oh, so you could just make something peril. It's pretty cool. Mastercrafted power sword, frag grenades, crack grenades, psych out grenades, and Psyoculum. Psyoculum's pretty good if I remember correctly. Ballistics to skill 10 if shooting at psychers or a unit with a psyker in it. That's pretty cool. Enemy infiltrators cannot set up anywhere within 24 inches of him. He's a mastery level 2 psyker, which kills psychers. He's like a psyker counter psyker. And when making a deny the witch test, he always counts as having a mastery level, a higher mastery level than the psyker casting it on him. And she always knows Aura of oppression and can generate 2 more powers from telepathy. Basically locks guys in place, pinning or prevent runs, turbo boosts, or sweeping advances, or firing Overwatch. It's a pretty good unit. Formations. But this is why I bought this book, where I could basically play everything in the Imperium of Man in one formation. I like that. That's worth it. Just everything, as long as it's vanilla Space Marines, not wolves or blood angels, but just vanilla everything. Everything golden. Everything golden. Look at those. Look at that. Oh, so good. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Wow. Ecclesiarchy relics. Pretty cool stuff. I don't want to spoil this book too much. A lot of anti-psyker, really high damaging things. The bearer of the Shroud of Anti-Martyr has Eternal Warrior. That's always nice. Well, cool book. I like this one. I like it. I'll keep it. In fact, I don't know if I'll buy the second one. It's for Eldar with some stuff I don't particularly care for. But I'll probably buy the third one, because that seems really interesting as well. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This guy's missing an arm. Well, we'll put him in the missing stuff pile. Sometimes your gaunts lose an arm.
Thank you, Bennet.
For?
Enabling me to have such an extended break.
Is your mic on?
It is indeed. That's why I wanted to thank you, because I wanted to make sure everyone could hear it. Ah, shit.
I read a cool story about how Creed was getting choked by Abaddon.
Cool story, bro.
And then Celestine stabbed him in the back.
Stabbed in the back?
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry about that.
And then I went over the rules for Belisarius' Crawl. It was really good. He's really good.
Yeah.
Makes me kind of
very funny, Flippy Monkey.
want to buy Belisarius' Call. Because his canticles of the Archmagos,
Kinky?
you know how they have canticles, right?
No. Are those like battle hymns or orders or?
Yeah, at the beginning of their turn, they get a, roll a dice and pick on a chart. And then the severity is how awesome that ability is. Well, they have them that can be cast on anything in armies of the Imperium.
Right. I am greenskin. Flinger789. Fling you are. I do play orcs. I am a greenskin.
Are you so you're gonna put together or work on that Baneblade?
I am, unless there's something extraneous that makes you want to call it.
No. I was gonna switch the camera over to you because that
Sure.
seems way more exciting to me.
Notes.
If you look here,
Excellent. Yes, sir.
and then maybe if you want to adjust the camera
Mhm.
appropriately.
Definitely. What's not buttoned down?
You have to loosen up the things.
Yeah. Actually, this is pretty good, unless you want to get just me. What's your shot?
Showing what you work on.
Cool. This is the perfect. This looks just like a meaty sandwich.
All right, because when you were holding it up, it was cutting off. So.
Yeah. No, I just moved my hands. Look at that.
Yeah. Putting together Baneblades.
Burn blades. I can't believe that guy at the store offered me one for $60.
Who?
Some guy at the store.
Really?
Yeah. Emerald Knights, I mean. So what you been working on? What you been doing besides telling stories? Telling stories out of school.
Painting gaunts. You know, I'm going to set up a new frame for this camera. I'm going to do like a 2-screen split of your close-up and my close-up.
Sounds good. Aha. There's no excusey for usies. Mon chéri. Yeah, I like it. That's why. Pardon me, everybody. I got a little out of frame and I got really focused on what I was doing, so sorry for the dead air. But yeah, here we go. That is coming together nicely. So, what have we been talking about? I've been gone for a little while. I'm going to check the... Excuse me. Pardon me. I'm going to check the... chat. Here we go. No, what? No, he was not the Primarch that went emo. Whoa. Nice. Little flash emoji. We're not sure. Wonderful shows always. Thank you, Seeholzer. I doubt you're watching, but thank you for the kind words. Grab the town we can talk about doing stuff on stream. Absolutely. New town may be coming? Yeah. 40k story time. Yeah. Those books really are, they really are expensive, and all the complaints that you hear, I think, are valid as far as, not completely valid, but they are very expensive. I definitely see where people are coming from when they make that point. However, you really do get a lot for your money in terms of the codices and the rule books being gaming materials, absolutely, supplementing the core rules both in spirit as well as functionality, just because they are such great troves of excellent artwork, excellent fiction, and as far as the lore and things go, and they're wonderful. Everybody's mentioning story time, and Bennett's going to tell us a story, or Bennett was telling me, yeah, I told him a story, but you really do get a lot out of that. That's something I've heard a lot. Teaching people how to play this game is that there's X, Y, and Z I like about the game, and then all these things I don't like about it. But it's the universe, it's the world that really makes me love it. It's unique. So you really do, and there are pure lore and fluff books and things like that, but you really do get a lot for your money when you do buy those books, because you just get a lot of content, period, and it's all this amazing stuff. If you ever wonder what it is that we are talking about and stuff, it's all the stuff that we're getting from the books. What was the site where you could make the army lists? There are a couple of those, Flippy Monkey. The most popular of which by far is something called Battlescribe. Battlescribe is an app that you download. I've also heard of Army Builder, but a friend of mine, nice double stream setup. It's quite Dutch. Those are two cantered diagonal angles, and those are called Dutch angles. So that may be disorienting to some. But yeah, that's definitely going to give you the close-ups of those two things. Hopefully, Bennett, if you can hear me, hopefully we can have each individual screen pinned to one function. In addition to this really cool split screen setup. Cool. So yeah, Army Builder is something I've not used before. A friend of mine uses it and speaks very highly of it. But Battlescribe is the app, and that is a free download because you get little ads that are totally minimal. There is a paid version. I cannot recommend the paid version just because the ads are so unobtrusive. It's just not worth it. All right. All right, got my big, meaty 40K sandwich here. A little nervous rocking things around just to get it to press fit, but right now, it's working. Okay. If ever you're using the Citadel plastic glue, it does take a little while to cure. But it looks like it's wet for much longer than it actually is. You're most welcome, Flippy Monkey. It's what we're here to do. Alrighty then. Cool. Whoa. Moving about the screen. Whoa. Yeah, forgive any minor technical adjustments like that. They are going to help us make a better stream.
I like that frame. I like that. That's a winning. I'm going to save that one so we could use it on...
They're awfully cantered, I hope you heard me say.
Cantered? Which way?
They're both angled inward at different degrees, so they're a little
We don't really have the space.
Yeah. No, I'm making a note
I
for
wish I
next
could
time.
get a top down, but you know what?
Yeah,
We do what we
we'll
can.
work
We
on
can
that
what we
next
do.
time. We'll work on that next time, yeah. Your mic is on, I'm assuming?
Yeah, spaghetti wires.
Spaghetti wires.
Excuse me.
We have shorter tripods for future reference. Whoa.
No, this is good. I like that. Because then the tripods will be in front of the camera.
Not necessarily. We have one this far away, but that's just shorter. It has a shorter arm, so we won't have the issue we did before. I'm disappearing.
I cropped us just, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I like this camera. What do you guys think of the layout? Excuse me.
There is no excuse for it.
It's after hours.
I said it before, I'll say it again. It's delicious. Yeah, that's a tank.
Damn it. What am I doing?
Painting.
That looks good.
Yeah.
John has one, and I've seen it a couple times recently.
Yeah.
Which kind of spoiled it for me.
His is not,
because I haven't seen one in person, and then he brought his, and I was like, he's in the middle of building it. I wanted yours to be special.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Bennett. I will say though.
Can I see this?
Hold
Or
on.
is it-
Ow, hold
Give
on.
it-
I just
give
got
it away.
something in my
Give
eye.
it away.
This is still curing a little bit, and unfortunately, it's kind of rickety.
Hold it
Like
up
you're
to the
meant
camera.
to just.
so
Oh,
they
that's
can-
all I was doing before.
Oh.
I called it my big meaty sandwich. I didn't quite do a real close up though, so I will do that now. Where's that green coming? Oh, it's bouncing off the green screen. So yes, this is just one small part of the side of it. That's how big this thing is. Man, I hope it didn't just get glue in my eye. That'd be bad. But yeah, it is a little pressed. But you're not manually zooming, are you?
No, I'm using the.
Good. Good. Because again, that'll break it.
I like this frame. This is a winning frame.
Yeah.
It's a good format too.
I agree. I do think it's important to
I also like
get them
multiple
straightened
people.
out.
I've watched a couple 40K hobby painters on Twitch, and it's always one guy like alone in a room, and I like
Yeah.
the two-person.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, we definitely have a winning format here as far as that goes. Forgive me for being fastidious, producer as I am, video producer as I am. That I can't help but say I think we ought to straighten out the angles, but that's definitely for next time.
Episode 2,
Yeah,
I put that
exactly.
together in a minute, so.
Definitely. Yeah. No, it's. Forgive me for not giving you the good with the bad.
I didn't know what you were talking about when I set it up. I was like, huh? And then I walked away, and I walked back the monitor in the other room, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, everything's to the left.
To the left.
So, get Robbie a Necron army. One of the
Yep. That's
girls
great.
who comes
Thank
around
you,
these
Sly
parts,
Colossus.
she
Thank you
has
very
a
much.
Chaos army. I want her to bring it, but she's out of town right now. And when she said next time she gets a chance to go home and come back here, that she'll bring it. So I hope she does. I hope she remembers. I'd be very happy to have some mint potion people
Peeps
who are
and
into
folks.
the
There are
the 40K.
The Schwarz.
I imagine this show might change once Star Citizen comes out. Like, are you painting? No, I'm
Well, we only have
taking over
however
the
many years
galaxy.
before that happens.
Yeah, who knows? Any moment now. No,
Everything all right?
longer than a moment.
Also,
Nothing's okay. Nothing's all right. The galaxy is in constant peril. Why don't you play a Necron army? Necrons are easy to collect.
You talking to me or Flippy Monkey?
Flip a monkey.
I played Necrons. They're awesome.
You know, it really hit me how cheap armies are to collect. Like, if you're not like a
If you're not
crazy-
us.
if you're not an obsessive painter
If you're not us.
or hobbyer and you just need to get an 1850 list, it's like $400.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cheap. It's a lot
Yeah.
cheaper than I thought it was. Maybe if you just want like a nice one solid list. So I kind of want to make more armies.
Of course. That's good for you, Bennett. That's how you
I
know
want to
you're
make
into
just
this
like more static armies. Maybe like,
Skatari.
oh man, just make a war convocation. But why would I want to just play a war convocation? That's not an army I'm interested in. I want an army that actually has options, like that actually I could like do something unique with. I don't really feel like I could do anything unique with machines like that. They have a machine way of being good.
Yeah, Necrons are like that. That's the one really cool thing I thought Matt Ward did. I actually really
The
liked that.
Canaptic Harvest. They have one method of winning.
Get to the chopper.
Everybody who
Nice.
plays Necrons plays the same thing competitively. And it's a
Decurion.
good list. They play a Decurion with a Canaptic Harvest. It's the same list everywhere, and it's a good
Oh,
list.
shit.
What?
Fuck.
What?
Grab the wrong. I have two mostly identical parts.
Did you
I grabbed the
glue
wrong one. Nope.
it? Oh, then
Wait
that's
a
not
minute.
so bad.
Oh no, I grabbed the right one. Excellent. Sorry, they only show you the left-hand side of this tank for the thing they're building, and I am building the right-hand side.
They're just like, do it twice. That's old instructions, though. That's like, the new instructions are pretty good.
Yeah, they really produced the instructions well. I'm really impressed. And that's us geeking out less than it sounds.
That's all I do, man, is geek out.
Yeah.
I get geek all over the place all the
Yeah,
time,
it
every time they
happens
release
a lot.
stuff.
Yeah. You gotta
I
do
get a
more than
geek
just
leak.
issues, man. Nice. Flippy Monkey, I hope you remember from last time that was my orc mission. I was going to make that objective just a big choppa from the orc gods, and that's the goal for the orcs, is to get to the choppa. There's one big bladed club in the middle of the field.
Well played, well played.
Thank you, thank you.
How many points is that thing? 580?
525, and there's some really necessary upgrades. They miserly enough make you take, so it's like 540.
Alright. How many sponsons are you building on it? Don't you have to do that as part of that? No, you haven't put the...
Next. No.
Are you doing the double sponsons?
Looks too stupid.
I know, but it's...
I don't need
Lots.
one laser cannon getting in the way of the other most of the time, and I don't need a second pair of heavy bolters because I've already got 3.
But it can fire them at different targets because it's...
I've already got like 17 weapons on this thing. I'm not worried about getting another 4.
Fun. I would just deck it out, man. Go big or go home. When I build my Stormlord, it's gonna get pushed to the limit.
Remember Get to the Lemonade? Yes, I do, Flippy Monkey. That was the first game I ever saw you guys play. So sorry, did I mess up your paint job? Are you mad? Do you still love me? Oh well. I do remember Get to the Lemonade. That was the first game I saw you guys play. I met you that one time, and then I came back and you guys were playing a really impromptu game. The first time I've ever seen this game played really like quickly and impromptu. Just like, no, let's just
Get
to the Lemonade.
Oh, where he had his ethereal and the devilfish?
Yeah, and then you said, I'm going to make you play for that lemonade, and then that was your big objective. And then you guys were still taking pulls off of it throughout the game. And then I suggested... I just remember the look on your face when you said get to the lemonade.
Get to the lemonade!
Oh, so good.
Pucker up, sucker. That mission is kind of built into my new gaming table, where we have a canyon that you need to get through. We need to try that mission out.
Yeah.
So you need to bring your tanks.
Yeah.
And we'll have my Tyranids try to invade them. And you have to escort to the other side.
See you on the other side, man.
I hear plastic fitting together.
And you sound like Oprah. Is that a Battlescape now? Is the table a Battlescape? We're not using the big official Realm of Battle mats, if that's what you're asking, where you can build with like just big 2x2 foot puzzle pieces. We're not doing that, but Bennett's is building an extremely involved, really cool 5x8 table. As Bennett said, he thinks this game should be played on a 5x8 instead of a 4x4 or a 6x4, and I'm totally inclined to agree now.
Yeah, once you see it, you go, that's for Warhammer.
That's for Warhammer.
You just see the size and you're like, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
So it's 2 feet longer and 1 foot wider than a normal 40K gaming table.
Yeah.
It's on my Facebook, man. You're friends with me. Go check my Facebook. You could see images of it. You my friend. You my friend, dog. I also have a blog. Onslaught Delete BDO.wordpress.com has my hobby updates. And that's my blog for my table and my hammerings.
Forgive my language, I thought I include something and none of it would fit because of it. Okay.
Relax, man. Relax.
Can't, man. I got a big Baneblade in my hand.
He's got the whole Baneblade in his hand. He actually only
So
has
no
a
cheesy
quarter
first
of
turn
the
rail shots? No, you'll be out of range.
You'll be out of range,
I don't know if you were
unfortunately.
with us at that point, but, Bennett, I don't know if you did this on purpose. I think you might have mentioned this for the first time the other night. You set up something with 48 inches. Normally, that's the entire board. But, nope, you set up something with 48 inches, and then you learn real quick the hard way. You can't hit the thing that you want to.
Yeah, if you have like a heavy support line, like say I have Devastators with las cannons, right? And I'm just pushing into you on the other side of the table, what's going to happen at the end of the game is your Devastators are going to have to take a step forward to continue pushing in on them. Can you post a link? I'm not logged into the chat here, man. I have to log in. I don't know the Mint Potion login.
No. Just give them the address of your blog again.
Okay, type this. Onslaught, ONSLAUGHT, delete, DELETE, BDO, dot, wordpress.com.
I'm glad you pantomimed the dots. They might not have figured it out otherwise.
They might have put commas in. I was like, dot.
I have a cousin named Dot. No, I don't. I'm not biologically related to them. Just really close. Never mind. Don't
I'm
have a
not
cousin.
biologically related to the Animaniacs either. But my Uncle Wacko.
Maniac.
The table's still a work in progress. It's not done yet.
Schnapp.
But it's, your Tau would love it. Your Tau would fucking love it. They would just revel in it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. If that's something that other people can click on, that's very generous of you.
Thank you, yeah. It's designed, like I put a lot of thought into the layout and the design. It's designed to benefit ranged armies and close combat armies simultaneously. It's designed so there's great firing points, but also that these good firing points don't intersect each other so much, so they're actually obscured. So if you hold a nice firing point, you're kind of blocked from taking out the guy on the other point. And major causeways for infantry that might be assaulting fast or moving quickly down the board, they get to this choke point where they're also blocked. They're also safe from that firing position, which can hit basically, 90% of the table. But there's a couple like choke points and everything where they just kind of go, okay, I don't know. It's the level designer in me did its job.
Indeed.
That canyon that you see if you're looking at it.
It looks like he is. He's very complimentary.
Is that canyon you see, we've been playtesting that quite a bit, and it's way fun.
Yeah.
It is way fun. I have a blast just trying to, any which way we go about it. And we're already starting to build up tactics and kind of get that mentality I wanted. I wanted the static table because I liked kind of the mastery of it, the game gets really serious because when you're playing on that table, you take your past experiences into account. instead of just being like, okay, let's play and la-di-da-di-da, whatever happens, you really have a sense of, no, it's really a bad idea for me to put troops there, or, oh, I really want to get a guy to that position, or I know, like, especially with that canyon, it's like, oh, I want to infiltrate a guy there or there, right? Like you get this sense for it, which actually I think just makes the game just kind of more fun. And the thought behind your fun is there's more to it. People will bring out their conniving sides and come out with trick ones. Like, dude, I flew across that canyon with that land speeder, and that was just like my first epic play on that table. I thought I was done for.
Me too.
When you blew up my land speeder, but I didn't take any wounds from it being wrecked.
Indeed. And the monkey says it's like making StarCraft maps, but more doperous, and I am inclined to agree.
But I stuck along the cannon, and your guys couldn't really hit me. They didn't have line of sight because I was out of the elevation.
I miss making maps in that level editor.
Oh, I've made quite a full ton of maps in Galaxy Editor. Yes, NSC Map Editor, the original.
Happy to.
I kind of did this series of maps in StarCraft 2 where I made really small, tight levels.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the design features of it was that there wasn't enough room to freely build, so it was a turf war. You actually had to like fight for space a little bit, or build out into the center of the map because of the tight building areas. And it was, I found it really fun, but I never.
No, I love level
people
design.
Found it frustrating because they couldn't do whatever they wanted. I kind of liked that restriction on it.
Definitely.
Do you have StarCraft 2?
I do. I've played it in a long time.
Play some StarCraft 2 with me sometime, Steven.
Too, man.
Don't you have
You
a new
only play? I do.
Desert Strike?
Yeah.
I haven't played much recently. I think a couple weeks ago I picked it up again and played a couple games, and then I put it back down again. It's fun. I just I'll always open up Desert Strike, man.
What is the distinction
between what?
Desert Strike and regular StarCraft?
Oh, Desert Strike's a mod.
No, I know that, but what does it offer?
You don't really control your units at all. You build units. You build buildings that spawn units regularly, and it's kind of a tug-of-war style. I wonder what Ben's doing. It's quiet in the other room. The music stopped.
Yeah.
I paint the chest now. See, I forgot. And it's back.